Imagine being taken suddenly from your life. That's where the disappearance of Alice Creed begins. We meet two men, Vic, the older, very serious one, and Danny, who's younger and a bit nervous. They're planning a kidnapping, a big one, to get a lot of money from a rich man. Their target is Alice Creed. But here's the first big secret. What Vic doesn't know is that Danny and Alice are actually in love. Yes, the kidnapper and the person being kidnapped. Danny's plan is to trick Vic, take all the money, and run away with Alice. He thinks Alice will be happy because she doesn't like her rich father. The most important rule for Danny is that Alice must seem truly scared. If Vic suspects anything, everything falls apart, and they could both be in huge trouble. So Alice has to act terrified, even though she knows Danny. Alice is brought into the hidden apartment. She's tied up, scared, and completely alone. The room feels small and suffocating. While Vic steps out for a moment, leaving Danny to guard Alice, something unexpected happens. Alice, despite being tied up, is incredibly brave. She manages to grab Danny's gun. The loud shot from the gun breaks the silence, a desperate cry for help. Now, with the gun pointed at him, Danny has no choice. He has to tell Alice who he really is and explain his secret plan. Alice is shocked and angry, but she's also smart enough to know that if Vic finds out, they're both in danger. So she agrees to pretend, to play along with Danny's risky game. Danny, shaking, quickly finds the empty bullet shell and, in a truly desperate move, swallows it to hide the evidence. When Vic comes back, the air feels heavy with tension. He's very observant, and he immediately senses something is wrong. He finds a hidden mobile phone on Alice, a phone she tried to use to call for help. This makes Vic suspicious. But the real proof comes when he finds the bullet hole in the wall. There's no denying that. With a frightening calm, Vic forces Alice to tell him everything about Danny's secret plan. The truth comes out, slowly and painfully. Vic is completely stunned. He can't believe Danny, his partner, would betray him like this. It's not just about the money, it's a deep, personal betrayal. Vic even says something unsettling about how Danny couldn't have faked his feelings for Alice. This shows how truly hurt and angry Vic is. He goes from being in control to being a very dangerous man. With Danny's lies exposed, everything changes. Vic, now filled with a quiet, burning anger, takes complete control. The plan to get the ransom money becomes something much darker. They drive to a lonely, isolated forest, a perfect place for a terrible act. The moment they get the money is quick and silent. But for Vic, this trip has a deadly purpose. Without a word, Vic shoots Danny. It's a sudden, shocking act, a brutal end to their partnership. Danny falls, seemingly dead, left alone in the quiet forest. Vic, having gotten his revenge, then heads back to Alice. She's still locked up in the warehouse, completely unaware of the bloody events that just happened. Vic returns to the warehouse, his face grim. He plans to inject Alice to silence her forever. Alice fights back with all her strength. Then, in a truly shocking moment, Danny, wounded but incredibly still alive, appears. He's like a ghost, driven by a desperate will to survive. He attacks Vic, and a messy, brutal fight breaks out. Danny manages to get the gun and shoots Vic. Danny, thinking he's won, grabs the ransom money, but his victory is short-lived. He collapses and dies just outside the warehouse, his injuries too severe. Before Vic takes his last breath, in a final, strange act, he throws Alice the keys. Alice, battered but free, unlocks the door. She stumbles out into the harsh daylight, only to find Danny's body. She's alone, exhausted, but she has the money. She gets in the car and drives away into the quiet, empty world. She survived, but it cost her everything. The Disappearance of Alice Creed is an amazing film that keeps you on the edge of your seat. The director, Jay Blakeson, constantly surprises you, making sure you never know what's coming next. It's a small movie that feels huge because of its intense story. The script is incredibly smart. Every word and every action pushes the story forward. It's incredible how much drama and suspense they create with just 3 people in one main location. It shows you don't need big explosions to make a thrilling movie. You just need a great story and intense characters. The acting is powerful. Eddie Marsan as Vic is chilling. You feel his coldness and his sudden anger. Martin Compston makes Danny a conflicted character, torn between his plan and his feelings. But Gemma Arterton as Alice is truly outstanding. She goes from being terrified to being incredibly strong, and you feel every part of her journey. This film explores deep ideas like trust, betrayal, and the raw fight to stay alive. It's a harsh look at what people will do when they're desperate for money and power. It reminds us that sometimes the biggest dangers come from the people closest to you. And that's our recap and breakdown of The Disappearance of Alice Creed, a film that reminds us that even the best plans can fall apart, and the fight for survival is never simple. What did you think of Alice's journey, or the surprising twists in this movie? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this recap engaging, please give it a like and subscribe to Story Unlocked for more cinematic stories.